The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hey!
Howdy.
It's the library.
We have never started.
I don't like it.
No, I didn't.
Let's never do it again.
Fine.
No, we can keep it this time.
I could do it.
No, we can keep this
I
time.
would keep it
along
that
with it.
time.
Okay.
You guys
Okay.
couldn't go.
It
along
was just.
with it.
Maybe
I
I'll
was
come
expecting
to you.
hello everybody and welcome to the library. But hey, like the old Lego commercials, like the
Hey! Build the helicopter. My friends, Halo.
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 That's what we're
There.
here to talk about.
Hello.
No. What are we gonna do? Do the Halo?
Do the Halo.
The reload animation dancing.
Now you gotta hit the reload cancel.
Hit the reload
Dude,
cancel.
I swear, if someone gets a video of you hitting the reload cancel at a real party, I will lose it. He's doing the YY.
He's doing the double wide. He's doing the double
Everyone,
wide
you know-
ladder stall.
When people start breaking out the reload animations, you know, people be hating when you bring out the niche stuff like the Black Ops 1 FAL. Yeah.
No, I have actually hit the reload animations.
I have.
I have. I think everyone who saw that meme
The
tried
Needler
it.
one's pretty good.
I love the Needler one. Just
My favorite's the 50 cal. Just
Spanker's actually a pretty good one.
oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
Like you can combo the Needler and the energy sword. You go Needler in one hand, energy sword in the other, slash fire.
No one would know.
No one would know.
How would they know?
How would they know?
They would be confused about this. Unless you just did open hand.
I'm
Or
sure this
fist.
is great for the audio-only audience.
Oh yeah.
love you
Oh, yeah.
guys. Watch
Yeah.
us.
We're hitting the reload
Oh.
dances. All right, so there's an event that happened on Saturday, but we ain't talking about it here because we have another podcast that fits it much better. So get on the podcast on Thursday. You should do that. You should jump over there. It's on YouTube. It's just it won't recommend it to you because there's not very many subscribers. Fix it, please.
We would greatly appreciate it.
According to our analytics, only 90% of you are subscribed.
Do it for the cat.
Actually, oh yeah, the cat. Where is the cat right now? I heard her screaming in the back, but she hasn't popped out yet. Yeah. Hey, can I have Jimmy? Yeah. Jimmy. Oh, okay. All right. I feel better now because without the cat here, I need something in my lab.
Jimmy will do.
Jimmy, you'll do. So, yeah, the event was fun. We decided to put together a little, I'm calling them Discord convention style event where basically there's a bunch of things to do for 12 hours straight.
E-convention.
E-convention. No, that doesn't sound
You just
cool.
put E in front of everything. That's how it works these days.
Which is weird because is that just because everyone calls it email? Like, is it sourced
I
from
think
that?
that's how it started.
I think it's because it's electronic.
Electronic mail.
Yeah.
Electronic convention.
Electronic convention. That's kind of hard.
Okay, that's kind of sick actually, because then if you do a second one, it's Electric Convention 2
And
Electric Boogaloo.
And it rolls off the tongue a lot better than Discord convention-like thing.
That's fair.
That is true.
That's fair.
It does sound a lot better
So we
than
did an
that.
electric convention in our Discord.
I was still getting that E-convention, but that's fine.
And I'll just give a couple fun little appreciations and all of that. Everyone had a great time. It was really loud the whole time, and it was really fun. There were 46 total participants.
Yeah, I had to take my headset off at times and just decompress.
Yeah.
Which is rare for me to do.
It's a lot of shouting.
I won't lie. Whenever the Discord gets like that deep, like I'll mute like everyone or turn everyone down besides like you guys, and maybe like Kyle or Vermin or someone that I've talked to a lot that night. like they'll either get muted or turned down for at least a little bit, just so I can make the voices stop.
I would never do that to you.
Brothers Muad'Dib.
Silence.
I'll just show up for 2 hours and then go eat and then forget to get back on.
I apologize for
'Cause
everyone
that's
who
what
had
I
to
did.
endure my firefight challenge.
Endure. They did not endure anything. Most of them died in the first minute.
I got skill
I would
issue.
say once we figured it out, the armor contest was really fun.
That's all I was hearing afterwards. After it was done, people were talking about the fun that they had. They were talking about specific moments that happened. I can't remember a single one of them, but
There was a lot of yelling.
they were having a great time with it. It was super fun. So we'll talk about that more on Get on the Podcast. But for now,
Let's say what show are we doing right now?
The Library, the show where we talk about Halo lore.
Which we haven't done yet.
That's what we're about to do.
Wow, what are we talking about?
I forget.
We're talking.
It's supposed to be a segue to make it look like a natural
It's about as natural as an actual segue.
Connor's not doing well. I forget. Please tell us what we're talking about today.
So we're talking about the Forgotten AI of Halo.
I've already forgotten about him.
There's a lot of AI. There are a total of 31 smart AI in the universe alone, and we often interact with 3 of them.
Cortana,
Mm-hmm.
Roland,
Mm-hmm.
help me out here. Who's the third one in your brain?
In my brain, the third one that we interact with the most, you could switch it up. You could say Serena, because there's a lot of people that interact with that game still and play as her in Halo Wars 2, or the weapon, depending on if you're a person who is 12 and you only play Halo Infinite.
What about Anti-Dot? She's a dumb AI. My mistake.
There you go. See, he's catching on.
Connor's over there thinking, why isn't Iratu's a smart AI?
He is a
Yes.
smart AI. He's the 31st.
I already know.
It's just, he's a smart AI. It's just he's made off of a dumb brain.
Big goofy brute brain.
Big goofy. It's really weird hearing things like a brute say categorization.
I
don't like that.
More than 3 syllables.
That actually is a thing, though.
I wish they made him like stutter and struggle with big words.
Would have been really funny, actually. But no, he's super fluent.
Missed opportunity.
It's wild. But these AI, there's a lot of them. And so because of that, we're giving appreciation to a few, not all of them, because first of all, I
like
can't remember.
Black Box?
Yeah.
I love Black Box.
I think he's more like a blue cube.
Black Box.
Black is the
Black-
absence of light. I have to be something else in order to represent it. I am Black Box. I love him so much. Which, speaking of, next week we're going to be talking about definitive recap of Hunt the Truth, by the way. So you guys are going to need to listen to it
I
again.
should re-listen to it.
I'm going to re-listen to it too, but I just know these two especially. You
That
especially.
means I get to re-listen to it too.
Not necessarily.
Yay.
I could just listen to it on my own time. Because here's the thing. I haven't done a Wildlands playthrough while listening to the entirety of Hunt the Truth in a while. I've done that twice.
I gotta get my miles in because I like to drive with my podcasts.
There you go. There you go. A whole lot
Or
of people
Planet
do.
Coaster 2 just came out and I can play that. We
Planet
can talk about that later.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot to talk about with that game. It's really good, but also, whoa, sort of vibe.
Yes, there's some problems.
We will discuss.
Not major.
So I'm curious.
So, my friends, I'm going to toss it to you guys first. Can you name any of these smart AI that is not in a game or is in only one game?
Well, I already said Black Box, so I win.
You do. Sorry. And other two.
The Covenant doesn't have smart AI, do they?
Not even a little bit.
They don't
Yeah.
believe in
They are
AI.
dumber than dumb.
I was going to say they don't have smart AI.
Mendicant bias is technically a smart AI.
He is what we call a
Very smart AI.
Medarch
took-
and Scylla, which is not even smart AI. That is straight up, I transcend time and space AI.
You kind of took my fallback after I got confirmation
I'm
from the
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Medarch,
okay. I was gonna
Medarch
say
level and Scylla are completely different.
Mendicant bias was going to be my backup after I confirmed that the Covenant
the cupboard.
the cupboard
The
mate.
cabinet.
Ooh, I know one.
cabinet.
Oh, he's in a game.
Well, is he in one?
Yes.
Which one?
Halo 5.
Governor Sloan. Yeah, no, that
Mm.
actually is a good one because he has a whole story that plays out after Halo 5.
Yay.
And he right now actually just got the end of his story told.
In Epitaph.
Ish. Battleborn and Meridian Divide. Those two books got republished under Gallery Books. And at the end of Meridian Divide, there is now Meridian Divide and Battleborn both got this in the republish. Aside from some changes that were made here and there, and the audiobook now having 4 voice actors instead of just the one, so it's not one lady trying to be 4 teenagers, which makes them sound all the same. The end of Meridian Divide now has something called an adjunct, which is just an extra piece of story at the end. And it's all about High Auxiliary Sloan and what becomes of him. And in this case, he becomes, he possesses a knight's body and is now just wandering the surface of Meridian after it's been glassed. So that's just where he's at right now.
So what would 343 Guilty Spark be classified as?
He's a monitor. That's what that AI is called.
Okay.
He can do somewhat less than a smart AI, but also he's intelligent. So it's weird back and forth. Cortana overpowered him.
So we are strictly talking UNSC smart AI.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Because first of all, there's a lot of Forerunner AI, like a lot of them, and all of them have really dumb names. And by dumb, I mean I just don't feel like looking into the meaning of all of them, although Penitent Tangent probably has my favorite background meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, aside from there being a whole lot, we would have to go into the Banished AI, and the Banished AI is getting smarter. And we would have to go into the Medarch level AI, and there's like 3 or 5 that we know about. I like the 31 UNSC AI. So, Connor, you can say Aratus.
Aratus.
There's a whole episode about that you can see from last week. Sorry, Connor, we're not talking about him
That
today.
freaked me
That's
out.
okay.
We got an amber alert.
Amber Lamps alert.
Amber alert.
Who kidnapped what this time?
2018 Gray Ford F-150 Ohio HPP 3057. Get on it, everybody.
Yep, there you go. Anybody who is in
Rear end damage. Victim Oakland Alexander. Oh.
yeah.
Okay, we're just.
Why is we have a city named Empire?
Empire, Ohio?
Empire, Ohio.
I want to move there.
That honestly slaps.
That goes hard.
It's right there next to Ohio City for me, which exists. We're not that far from it. It's a tiny, tiny little town.
Same energy as Reach City.
Seriously, that's straight up.
Same energy as Reach City.
looks like a split parents deal because they have the same last name.
Oh, well, then at least they know where he might be going. Anyway, so the first AI that I want to talk. Did you say one, Shane?
I was gonna say Mendicant. I was gonna start with the Covenant. And try to go from there. And after I got confirmation that they had basically just all dumb AI,
yep,
I was going to go into Mendicant Bias and ask about him.
Nope.
Okay.
Because you went from like all the way to the dumb, all the way to the way too smart.
Sorry.
You have something to say there, Miss Podcast Mom, as you're called?
Loki.
She's got one.
I
Loki.
win.
Hey, bonus points. What's his alter ego?
I don't remember his real name.
Mac.
I was gonna say it's some sort of like Texas cowboy name.
Yep, he's a farmer from Harvest.
Ooh, I remember one.
You're taking all the ones from Shane here.
It's okay. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Would you like to speak on his behalf, James?
Just do it.
One AI from Outpost Discovery. I forget what her name.
What he said.
It starts with a G. It ends with an Abriella.
Gabriella. I knew it was something with a G. I was gonna say Gabrielle, and that would have been wrong.
It would have been ish. I would have just said, yeah, Gabriella, just to be like, you forgot to say the A.
Yes.
Yeah, Gabriella. She actually has an entire plot. She has a whole story about her. She wasn't just produced from nothing for the production. There's a whole comic strip about her origin story. She was stranded on a UNSC ship, and then Oni was like, you're a baller. Would you like to go back to Earth and observe Outpost Discovery? And she's like, sure.
Cool.
Just
neat.
There was whatever the name of the AI that they turned Pharaoh into.
We never really got that AI's name.
We don't know that AI's name, but
No, I don't think so anyway. I don't think we've ever got that.
but she
answered.
still is one.
Yes. The most recent time that got addressed, I think, was in Ross Box World. It's a short story in the Fractures, I think. That one, that's an interesting story. Black Box is the prominent character of that one, and he talks a little bit about Pharaoh. But yeah, you know what? Let's talk about Gabriella a little bit because she. Sorry, I was thinking Black Box, so I went he's. So she's Gabriella is known for one major thing, and that's she actually contains the entirety of recorded human history.
Cool.
Yeah, so she's just kept safely on Earth because if she was ever compromised,
Yikes.
that's a lot of information. That's a whole lot of browser history. Gabriella was cool. I actually really liked her. The whole podium that they had for her that made her look holographic.
So
was
she has
super dope.
all human history.
Every single bit of it.
She has something about Sneeko in there somewhere.
Whoa. Honestly, how this AI just doesn't collapse in on itself is amazing.
I don't know how, honestly.
Just
I'm
think
like-
of,
It's like, tell me about the 2010s and 2020s. I will not.
No.
I'm like reading.
It has been restricted from my brain.
I'm
Who
on Halo.
restricted it?
I'm on Halopedia, and I'm like reading like some of the differences between like Covenant AI, Precursor AI, Forerunner AI. Like considering the technology, why was the Covenant's AI like absolutely dog water?
They just didn't believe in it, right?
This is like
they were thinking that AI was absolutely heretical because they believed that the great journey involved death, and by reviving them, you're cutting off that great journey.
yeah. You look what's highlighted right there in the middle.
Yep.
Religious belief.
And
right
also,
in the
they
middle.
at one point had access to mendicant bias,
And he
and
just
they knew what he did. So they also were very cautious to
Heresy.
not repeat that.
I will help them achieve the mantle, hunter worms. And then Mendicant goes dormant. Which, by the way, random thing I know that I'm pretty sure not a single one of you is going to actually be like, oh yeah, that. So, my friends, freaking, I knew it. There are some lore nerds out there. I knew it. The Mausoleum Suite is not about Mendicant bias. I knew it. It didn't make sense. I said it first. Nobody believed me. All of you are. Marty O'Donnell said recently that not a single bit of Frankie lore, Frank O'Connor's, or Bear lore, Greg Bear's lore, has anything to do with what he wrote for the Mausoleum Suite. In the Mausoleum Suite, there's a backwards message, and in this backwards message, there's statements of things like, I have walked among gods and angels for 3,000 years. I've committed sins, all these things. It's really dark, really depressing. And I'm sitting there, it's like 3,000 years doesn't work for Mendicant because Mendicant has been around for 100,000. That doesn't make any freaking sense, dude. So I knew it wasn't him, and everyone told me that I was wrong, and I tried so hard to convince them, and it wouldn't work.
So what was it about?
I have no idea. That's the thing. We're trying to figure it I'm trying to figure it out still. It's more than likely knowing, Marty, that it has some deep biblical significance because Halo has very, very deep tie-ins to biblical lore.
the flood, the ark.
Exactly. All of that is just basically Halo trying to say that human interpretation of scripture was just what happened, but like historical narrative.
It's like one of my favorite brands of like sci-fi.
right.
Basically doing ancient aliens.
Mhm.
Sometimes I watched this like guy just put like Halo stings over Ancient Aliens episodes.
That's pretty funny. I love that. But yeah, it is like that. We have no idea what it's about yet. Marty is still being facetious about it, but he did say that it was just his own thought and it was from internal and all that. So like him and his team came up with whatever that statement was. It's him saying it in the song. So whatever it is he's talking about, I'm already on it because by day, I am Halo lore. By night, I am theologian. So, freaking Bible man. Anyway.
It says the Bible.
You question the words of the mighty Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Anyway, we like to have fun here. We like to host podcasts here. Shout out to Steve Fox for being one of the most entertaining listeners of the show, but also one of the best Chatternet hosts. I love this show so much. I love this show. I love Chatternet. Chatternet is fun right now. Chatternet completely blew all of our other shows out of the water in 1 month.
I just think
Yeah.
it's very, very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the library, Room 237, and Get On, like that's diverse. But like just Chatternet just covers so much in a short amount of time. Like
It's an easier listen too.
it is. It's not a bunch of like it. A lot of this tends to get like really like word vomity, especially if you're not like too big on really, really deep lore. And if you just want, or like it just Halo news or media in general, like Chatternet, like 20 minutes if you want to listen to something you're interested in. you can knock it out like super fast. It's just a quick way to get information, and it tends to be funny.
And when you sent us the numbers that the chat net was doing, I never felt my stomach sink in such a positive way.
Oh, they're listening.
Oh, I have my own show. There's this many people listening. I hope I'm doing good.
Which again, big thanks to Clutch Academy and Why Not for helping get those numbers quick, because they're posting about it really helps. And actually, Why Not? His birthday was just recently. It was I think 3 days ago. If I'm getting that right, I'm pretty sure it was 3 days ago.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, he got to celebrate his birthday at the LAN event that happened in Las Vegas. So that was fun. And listen, Why Not? If you listen to this show, I have no idea how dedicated you are to JumperScape, so I have no idea how much you listen to our other projects. But if you are listening, my friend, if Blow Me Away is playing at the event and there's recorded video of you not singing it, I'm going to take issue with that. Everyone else is singing it, and you're sitting there just...
I'm sure someone will send them this clip.
It's just amazing. I already know who to go to, because there's a couple videos on Twitter of people trying to get him to sing and they wouldn't do it. I love you. Why not? Anyway, so AI. Anybody know who Calmia is?
Nope.
Cortana's sister?
I was hoping you would know, because like Shadows of Reach.
Wait, that sounds familiar.
Shadows
now.
of Reach, they have to go back to Reach to recover Calmia from.
Did they ever use her name? They were very vague about what they picked up.
Well, I guess that's fair. They described it as a image of a visage of Cortana that looks very similar to her, but is a little bit different. And basically, if you had read Fall of Reach, or any other novel that involves Halsey to some degree, where she mentions Calmia, because it's not an uncommon topic for her to talk about. Calmia is basically Cortana's older sister. Calmia was prototype number 1, and she basically turned into Halsey's personal Alexa while she was working on Cortana.
Nice.
She's prominent in First Strike, I want to say. They show up in Castle Base, and Calmia is just down there, and Halsey's just like, yo, delete my emails. Make sure Oni's not scrubbing through my stuff real quick, and I'm going to delete some of your memory. What? I said I was going to go get a coffee. You want anything? No. So stuff like that. Calmia is essential. She was very much necessary in the production of Cortana, but she also is just not a prominent character. Along with a lot of these stories, there's going to be a lot of AI that pretty much can be summarized in one paragraph as to what happened to them. The story of Calmia at least extends into Halo Infinite, since somehow she's alive, not completely rampant, even though she's been sitting there for like 10 years almost. And they just use whatever she can, like whatever Halsey can scrounge up to create the weapon. So it's just wild. I don't know. It's one of the most weird parts of the whole story to me, because I don't understand how she got Calmia to work, or how Calmia was even functional. Because eventually, after a bit, they just kind of too much data, they die. Which is why I'm really confused about Gabriella having the entirety of human history, because I think that would be a little bit much on the storage space. But whatever. What's a few, whatever bigger is than petabytes, you know?
Yeah. So biggie.
But let me think here. So what were some, you brought up Loki and Mac. I want to address them because they're cool. He is. So pretty much Harvest, the planet, which is not even surprisingly an agricultural world. Believe it or not, a planet called Harvest. Which, by the way, you remember the Jotuns, those machines that were doing all the agricultural stuff?
No, actually.
Did you read Contact Harvest?
No, I have not read
Okay.
Harvest.
You've said the name on the podcast before.
Yeah, Jotuns. So the Jotun is actually an elephant from Halo 3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like how in Halo 3 ODST, the Oliphant is an elephant, but a trash vehicle. It's faster.
So the UNSC just weaponized it.
Yeah, they like the elephant. It's actually kind of fun. There's a whole family of them that you can look up online. There's just this little family grid of how many different kinds of the elephant are there.
What made me so mad is just like playing Halo 3 in like its heyday and like doing Elephant Wars on like Sandtrap. And then oh my God, the mission in Halo 3 ODST where I think it's Buck driving one and it's zooming.
Oh yeah,
absolutely zooming.
It's modified. It's
and
not
I'm
a
like,
tank.
This thing was moving like 5 inches every hour in Halo 3, and he's just skirting down a highway. I'm like, why can't we get that?
Well, I mean, you're not going to like the answer because even though it makes sense, it doesn't mean that, we can't have the elephant moving faster, but
for multiplayer reasons, I understand why it does.
It's not just that. The elephant isn't indestructible in Halo 3. It's implied it has incredible armor. In Halo Wars, it has incredible armor. In Halo 3 ODST, one Scarab blast and it's done.
Wait, what? How did you do that?
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do wasn't to flip the elephant. It was if you put a bunch of explosives in there, set their respawn timer to 1, and then put a bunch of vehicles in there, set their respawn timer to 1, put a bunch of mines in there, throw a grenade, and it all starts exploding. It will explode forever, and the elephant will just be floating in the air for the entirety of your session. It's really fun.
I'm surprised that the game just doesn't crash after.
I mean, it isn't running very well. It doesn't like it that much, but it won't crash.
Just Halo, just
You can overload maps that way, though. And not very easy on MCC because MCC's tick rate is higher. But before, the easiest way to overload Sandtrap, it was so freaking easy. You just get 2 trip mines, set their respawn timers to 1, stand in between them, and just keep on throwing pizzas until eventually it explodes by itself. When it explodes by itself, all of the out of bounds bomb things that pop up, the bouncing betties that pop up, they don't appear. All of the not grav lifts, but the air lifts are not functional. They don't push you up. The effect is still there, but they don't push you up. You can get stuck at the bottom, and it's kind of terrifying. There's a lot of stuff that just stops working when you do that, and it's really fun to overload Halo maps. Hey, Forge World is probably one of my favorites to overload because you can get out of the map that way. But let's see. So Mac and Loki. Mac is the alter ego. It is not the primary. Mac is a cowboy, and Mac is all. He's the PR guy, basically. He annoys his fellow AI who watches over what's called the Tiara, which is a station that is up and above the entire planet. It pretty much is just where all of the ships go to dock and drop off their supplies. And then there's this big collection of space elevators that go down to the planet so they can kind of go back and forth up through the Tiara down to the planet and up from the planet. And so Sif operates the Tiara and Mac operates every single Jotun on the planet. He's just in all of them. And Sif hates Mac because he's just so abrasive and so annoying. And he's just a little snarky, and she's just not about that. Sif's story ends really sad because it's basically just the Tiara gets blown up by the Covenant, and she is in there, so she gets blown up. But actually, no, she didn't get blown up. No. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that entirely. Oh, okay. So spoilers for Contact Harvest. She didn't get blown up. Mac reveals when the Covenant start attacking Harvest that he's actually a dormant Oni AI that has been alive for who knows how many years. And the way that he has been avoiding rampancy is he just switches personalities every 7 years. And so he goes from being Mac to Loki. Mac, this really friendly, happy-go-lucky cowboy. Loki, a very cold, calculated, slicked back hair, hands behind his back, Oni AI. And he's just like, Sif, you've been a great friend to me, but I cannot allow you to be compromised. Just absorbs her. Disables her crystal, absorbs all of her data.
It's just depressing.
No questions asked. She's just, and gone. Loki then is like, oh, I have all this equipment. That's pretty cool. And he just starts ramming Jotuns into Covenant ships.
The name Jotun is just so fun. It sounds like a past tense form of yeet.
You've been Jotun.
Get Jotun upon.
This is kind of backtracking a little bit, but when we were
you
talking
do that a lot in Halo.
When we were talking about Sandtrap, and I keep thinking of like going out of the map is like, and it says like killed by Guardian. Isn't there like a canon like AI for the Guardian, or is that just kind of there?
So the original Guardian was going to be an enemy that you fought in Halo 3 in a mission that's titled Forest, and we don't really know what all of it was. We have a lot of concept art, and some designers have come out to talk about what the mission was. And I believe it was freaking was it Vadim? I don't think it was Vadim. One of the modders. Rejected Shotgun. It was Rejected Shotgun. He's been working on remastering the idea and bringing that mission to life. there was an AI called the Guardian, and this AI was not really like an AI. It was basically a sentinel. The only place that you can see it in the released version of Halo 3 is on the mission epitaph, like the level epitaph, the multiplayer map, the one that's a big tower in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which we now know is the final resting place of many Cabayas. Anyway, there's a hologram there. A hologram that is what a Guardian is. They just took the model, made it holographic, and slapped it there for detail. But it was originally going to be a huge enemy that you had to fight during the campaign, and they just ran out of time to implement it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember looking it up years ago, and I thought it would be a good talking point considering what we are discussing today.
Oh yeah, no, there's all sorts of really fun usages of AI throughout Halo. It's just really unfortunate because a lot of the coolest stories get lost because of the fact that they're. I know that people aren't readers, so that's okay. It's just you miss out on a lot of really, really good stories, like the fact that there's an abandoned Oni base on Onyx that after Jerome G. Ortega gets kicked out because he just sucks. Sorry, James.
He just sucks.
He does. I'm sorry, James. He just didn't find anything.
Yeah.
Tarkov, a Halo story. Listen to Tarkov Oni Files. You'll listen to his episode where Ortega fails. And when Ortega gets kicked out by Parangoski, he gets replaced with a small skeleton crew that gets replaced every few years, as well as AI overseers with names like Deep Winter and all that stuff. They reflect the seasons for some reason by their names. Those AI, I don't know anything really about because they're really briefly mentioned. We have descriptions of what they look like and all of that, but that's where a lot of AI will end up, is they just don't really get mentioned anymore. They just kind of get briefly noted as existent, and then they kind of move on from there. If I were to talk about other AI that have been forgotten, apologies, I still have a little bit of a cough. I'm thinking because we got Gabriella, and she has all of human history recorded for some reason. And then we've got Aratus. We already talked about him last week. We have Sif, Loki / Mac. There is an AI that was present on board a ship during the Heart of the Midlothian, whatever it was. It's a story from Evolutions. I know it as Halo's first F-bomb because it's the only story that I've ever found where they say the F word.
Put it in a game.
Put it in a game.
Make Halo rated M again.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Tell me what you guys think about this one, because it's always been a little like tickle in the back of my brain of just slight annoyance. Are we really going to keep the same swear words that we had 500 years into the future?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I think so, but I think it's unrealistic to assume like there hasn't been new ones invented
or at least they aren't using them differently, because
okay, well, if you're going to go down that rabbit hole, if you, in all realism, we shouldn't be able to understand what they're saying.
Well, that's
the language should have already changed beyond our years. We'd be kind of confused.
That's not completely true, because going back 1,000 years, we can understand Old English, but their usage of those sort of words, they are different now. I think one of my favorite examples of natural shifts, it's a closer example, so it fits better in my mind. Cyberpunk 2077 has all of the age-old classics that we know and love, but they start incorporating new ones, and they are really natural in the world of Night City. Like calling people gonks, that sort of thing. And calling someone a gonk is basically like calling them an idiot, but it's horribly offensive.
Well, here's the thing, too, and this is kind of like backing up what James said. It's just like, we should technically, like, we might not be able to, we shouldn't at least be able to understand because of how the language would change under that time. Like in that time frame. In Halo, it's, well, I guess at least Earth is like, it's like a one world government. Like it's a bunch of cultures under like one, like they're all together now. Like it's a whole big mixing pot.
Super Earth.
Basically. So I mean, unless the only argument is unless English stayed as like the dominant and like number one language, which I mean aliens have also learned English as well, so it's like just English is the universal form of communication at that point.
Galactic Basic.
Don't they call it that?
No,
No,
it's just
that's
English.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's Star Wars. It's just English.
But that's the thing. It's just like it's unrealistic. I want to say it's unrealistic to think that like the English language is just like default, like for all humans. But then it's just like, oh well, aliens also are just speaking English too.
Well, there are plenty of planets that exist in the human colonies in Halo that don't speak English.
Yeah, right.
Reach was Hungarian.
Reach was
Hungarian.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's
Random poll.
there are 2 planets that are Hungarian for some reason.
The Hungarians, they must have been populating.
But yeah, there's a planet for everything. There's a planet that the Japanese went off and colonized and became isolationist again.
Cool.
There's all sorts of
UNSC comes up. Open the planet.
Stop having it be closed.
I want to think the UNSC has a. Oh man, I forgot his name. I forgot the name of the guy who went to Japan.
Oh, I don't remember it was a general, right? I don't remember.
He was an admiral.
Oh, knock knock.
Navy.
It's United Nations Space Command.
After the surrender?
We have ships, spaceships.
This is in the 1800s.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
We have ships, spaceships. This is hilarious.
With guns.
So basically the entirety of the human race, it's pretty natural, honestly. It's just the way that it would have been. Nations are leaving the Earth and trying to colonize their own planets to basically just become super isolationist. There's not a whole lot of crossover in the cultures in the Halo colonies, which is the most natural evolution that I can think of. I don't think that unless you really did have so many alien species like Star Wars, you wouldn't become a proper melting pot. And the melting pot thing is already a little bit of a stretch to begin with. So it's meh. But with that being said, I think that's pretty much all that I could cover whenever it comes to the smart AI. There's more that I could talk about in the deeper side of things, but on the surface level, just take a look for yourself. Halopedia has a nice little section dedicated to smart AI and all the other AI. Definitely just take a read through from it. If Matt Forbeck says, and he was on here 2 weeks ago, if Matt Forbeck says that he uses Halopedia as his resources for writing, you can go and trust Halopedia as well. Plus, I already know for a fact, I know all these guys who operate it. They're so freaking obsessed with making sure that thing is accurate. And then there's still typos that I have to fix. It's fun. We like that fun here.
Commodore Perry.
What about Great Lakes?
That's the thing. I knew he had a beer. It's Commodore Perry.
And it's really good, too.
It is very good.
It is very good. Anyway, my friends, we're doing that thing. Remember, I've said that this is a new thing that we're doing. If you want to tune in next week for the definitive recap of Hunt the Truth, and you're going to want to stick around for that. Otherwise, we'll see you on Thursday for Get On The Podcast, and stick around just a little bit to get the Q&A and Patreon sections. Thank you so much for supporting us. Go to JumperScape.com if you want to get plugged into the community. Support us, anything like that. Also, we haven't said this one in a while because the bottle isn't here to remind us, but glitchenergy.com. What code can they use to get some money off on some solid energy that I myself use all the time?
Wow, I messed that up. Anyways.
That's a really long code. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, wow. Brains work, please.
So it's Connor 141 spelled
CONNOR 141.
Yes, use that. You'll get a little bit off on us, and it'll benefit the show. So if you want to support us that way as well, that'd be super helpful. Otherwise, stay tuned for Get On The Podcast because we have some details about some other upcoming events that you're not going to want to miss. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's Patreon time.
It's Patreon time.
We're starting at the 150s because you guys are cool. Little kitty cat. The kitty cat spawned. It's just kind of like, and all of a sudden there she is. So we're going to start off with Jacob Adlam, Scion Esports, It's Default 456, Dark Silent 42, Knight of Honor, A Moment of Silence for the Fallen. Kitty, stop purring.
That's not a moment of silence.
All right. Boomerang, Hounds of Meath, My Nuts Hurt. Rogue Ninja Knows What the Ladies Like, Johnson. Seth Rutherford, Spartan Dave. Whoa. Dick Hammerbush. Yeah. It had Zalgo text on it, so it's like all screwed up. Cool Blazer, Spartan Nabucco G156, Stably Unstable, Unholy God, Clover Eater of Pickles, Clotter Clark, Dapper Dame, Dylan. I'm not going to read that one again. Lactating Gator, Lactating Milk MT, Nicholas Saint, The Lactation of Mercy, Thomas Lane, Captain Pfeiffer, USMC. That's awesome. I see why you renamed yourself to that. Sky Cairo, Eva, hi, it's me again. Installation, Lactation, JXML, Kid Puncher, 2006, Mr. Shifter, My Name is Oz. Nope. The Prophet of Lactation, Random Feed, Shade Communication, Slap Nuts, Tucker, Valkorian, Wyatt, Zealot of Lactation, Tika Vadamai, A Real Ghost, Am,
a real ghost.
Call the Ghostbusters.
Am Superfly, Aussie ODST, Damian Groth, Darren.
Duty, honor, self-sacrifice. Death does not diminish these qualities in a soldier. We shall remember. And that's from the epilogue of Halo 3, baby. For us, the storm is past.
That's a different guy entirely right now.
The war is over. But let us never forget those that braved into the howling dark and did not return.
Keith077, Laughing Sam, Meme Lord, Moss Actual, Pity 104, The Big Cheese, The Chaplain, the oldest living Halo fan, The Big Moose, we head for
Austin's Ungoy stepchild, and we all go home.
Yikes, this does not look good. Alex Spartan number 30, bro, I hate my insurance. Claude Spark 5970, Garrus Vicarian, Halo the Guy, I hate Halo 5, Iskari, Kiri, Kyle Hooley, Mad Jeremy, Remington Cloutier, Sergeant Johnson Stick, and the Communal Rock. Spartan MA5K, UNSC Gothic Serpent, you belong to Reach. Your body, your armor, all burned and turned to glass. Everything except your courage. That you gave to us. And last but not least, Warm Apple Swell.
Warm Apple Swells, yay.
Linda has left us.
I think of the kitty when I say Warm Apple Swells. The same vibe. All right. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for your support. JumperScape.com if you want to support the show as well with all of these lovely folks and join their council of Patreon names that they've built up. It's always fun getting to read the wild sort of stories that you guys are coming up with or the weird jokes that you guys incorporate. We love it. It's always fun. But with that being said, it's Q&A time.
Ooh, I love Q&A time.
I love Q&A time. We've got 5 questions already selected, ready to go.
Let's do it.
Okay. First up from Dogman51109.
Hello, Dogman51109.
Hello, Dogman numbers.
What are y'all's top 5 favorite video games?
That's mean.
Oh,
That's
hard.
hard.
Okay.
I already have a good list sorted out because I think about this often. If you just want me to start,
Yeah, go for it because I can probably follow it up.
okay. In no particular
Yeah,
order.
no, there's no order.
I can't do an order, but I will give you my top 5 favorite: Minecraft, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty World at War, Halo 3. Oh, 5. Number 5 is going to be tough.
Rainbow Six.
I want to put Rainbow Six there, but it's such a different.
It's changed so much.
Yeah, no, it has. It has. I mean, it's one of my favorite games like ever to play. Like the game is almost 10 years old and I can go back to it and have fun with it. So I guess for the time being, I will put Rainbow Six there for now.
She wants you to die, Connor.
I see that. Let me get my phone for you.
I love how she just goes from lap to lap. She's like, oh, there's so many to choose from. She went from his to mine to his. Sorry, James.
You know, I put my legs in like this just so she doesn't do this. Here we are.
She's an unstoppable force.
She really is.
She is
Take your
inevitable.
gym.
Jimmy.
All right, if one of you guys, I'm gonna think about a replacement for Rainbow Six because I feel like I'm missing one. But
All right, so my top 5, which this is in order: Halo 3 ODST, Cyberpunk 2077, freaking Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. I love that game.
Yep, get comfortable.
Last 2, Syndicate 2012, the game released by EA. That game is fantastic. And lastly, Assassin's Creed Unity.
I have come to a decision on my 5th, and it's not Rainbow Six Siege.
What is it?
Sly Cooper 3.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Planet Coaster 1, Planet Coaster 2.
Connor, can you go first?
All right.
Forza Horizon 1, Forza Horizon 2.
I actually never played the first one.
It's all right.
I'll have to go. I'm going to say Forza Horizon because you got to play the new ones.
The
as they
whole
come out.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Skyrim. Skyrim's up there for me. Forza Skyrim. Let's go with some For Honor in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Very unique. Minecraft.
I want to say I know your fifth, so I'm waiting for your answer.
I'm stuck on a fifth.
Do you have anything in mind?
I'm trying to think of Halo.
There's a whole other franchise you're completely not even including, and I'm surprised.
What, Call of Duty?
No,
What am I-
Gears.
Oh,
Those
Oh.
guys, the jacked ones.
yes. Gears
The
3.
beefcakes.
Wait, Gears.
Cold
I'm between Gears 2 and 3. 2 and 3 was great.
2 was we didn't finish 3. I don't even
I
know if we got
freaking
to
love
3.
2.
2 was
so
very good.
Yeah.
2 was awesome. James?
So I'm gonna go Gears.
Okay, well,
Don't disappoint the cat.
give me Minecraft.
Okay.
I love how everyone has Minecraft universally. You have to.
You know, except me.
Oh, did you not have Minecraft?
I did
in
not
there?
have Minecraft in my top 5.
Hate you.
It's a really good game. It's not in my top 5 though.
Gotta do our tech. Awards.
Give me. There's no particular order. I can't do that.
No, don't do it in order. It's impossible to do in order.
Give me Halo 2. Battlefield 4.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. That
Hell
hurt.
yeah.
That hurt to leave off my list.
I am going to put Planet Coaster 1 in because I haven't had enough time or memories with Planet Coaster 2, even though I think it's probably a better game. And that's why is the fifth always hard?
Because you have to narrow. It's your last pick, and you've played a ton of games.
You had open availability on every other game, but now you have that one last
Mhm.
spot. Honestly, the most important spot is not the first spot; it's the 5th spot.
Austin,
down from
you've
Halo,
had everyone's
Call of
had an
Duty.
idea of something that someone's missing. Does anyone have something that they think I'm missing? And I'll be like, oh yes,
Madden, a Madden.
No,
game?
no. Madden's a dirty pleasure. It's not a top 5.
Think about Call of Duty. Think of Halo.
Phasmo.
Think of if you want to put
Phasmo's
Phasmo.
not in there.
Helldivers.
That's true.
It's hard because I want to put a Call of Duty.
Hell Let Loose, maybe.
But- I think I'm gonna put Hell Let Loose in.
I have so much fun with Hell Let
'Cause
Loose.
I think there's a Call of Duty that I could put in there, but there's so many. I feel like Call of Duty is its own genre of video game almost,
Yeah.
to where like I more can rank my favorite Call of Duties, but it's hard to pick
Yeah.
one to put
Call
in
of
my
Duty
top
What at War.
5.
Call of Duty What at War turned 16 today.
Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
God, Call of Duty What at War is the one Call of Duty I can throw out there.
We have
Because-
2 videos from World at War, by the way, on the Battle Dudes YouTube channel.
Yes. Oh my god, dude, it's like that. Just the depiction of World War II in that game. Oh, it's so good.
War as hell.
It's one of the few like realistic ones.
It's not too historically accurate, but it does better than a lot of other games.
I'd say it's one of the most authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the Call of Duties, World at War is the most authentic. World War
No,
II
absolutely.
shooter.
Oh, definitely out of Call of Duties.
What they have done in newer Call of Duties to World War II needs to be retaught.
I had here's the thing. I had problems with the way Call of Duty World War II was presented.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care that much anymore after Vanguard.
No,
World War II was a freaking historical documentary in
Yeah.
comparison.
Vanguard was really, really bad.
What
in that
even,
regard.
man?
Which one had the PPSH on D-Day?
That I'm gonna keep saying that's technically realistic.
No.
It's totally realistic. The Germans were taking weapons.
The PPSH was basically the secondary machine gun for the Germans
They didn't
because
only have
they took so
MP40s.
many.
But it was never in the movies.
It is in one movie I can think of. Stalingrad 1993 is a German movie where half of the Germans have PPSHs.
So you go, Connor.
Because
Beaten
and the
twice.
thing is they wouldn't
haven't seen
just
that
use them in the
movie.
East. They'd literally collect them in giant fucking piles and ship them to France. Because at the time, obviously, there wasn't much going on
Well,
in
here's the
France.
thing.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty World War II, it wasn't just PPSHs. It was like
The Type 100s being on D-Day, I would have understood having a problem with because those are also there.
That's straight up like not
They
even the
gave-
right nation.
well, they gave them like a weapons sandbox of the Axis and Allies. Like you could find Germans with Lee Enfields, you can find it with Kar 98s, Type 100s. You can find weapons from like most and like here's the thing, it wasn't just axis oriented. You could find weapon. There was some with like stens and everything. Like it was bad.
Wasn't
it got really
shotgun
bad.
in that game like a 1 of 4 shotgun?
Yeah,
a couple
but here's the
prototypes.
thing. I will take that over killing a German and being like, oh, I'm out of ammo. And then picking up a Car 98 with a short barrel, like with a sawed off barrel and a 10 round magazine, keyword magazine, because, that's not how guns work. You can't just drill a hole out of the bottom of the gun and be like, I'm going to put a magazine here now.
You.
Okay, Shane, go give it a try. Go buy a priceless World War II relic and
This is a conversation.
give it a
for Get
magazine.
On. This is a conversation for Get On.
What's the
If
next
anything.
question?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're doing Q&A.
We're doing Q&A.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yeah, let's save this conversation
Oh,
for Get
God.
On if we're good.
Okay.
Whoops.
From Slipstream. Am I supposed to read this in any particular way?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
Well, just like the way it's spelled.
I don't know. Just read it.
Okay, it's the one that
I'm
you
scared.
pointed out earlier.
Yeah, just read it.
Okay. So it's Shane, do you know the way, my brother?
What year is it?
Shane,
Do you know the way?
do you know the way?
Yes, I know the way.
Follow up, are you now disappointed in me, Shane?
Yes.
Are we counting that as a question?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
we spent enough time on question 1 that we
Yes,
have
that
to.
counts.
Ah.
That counts.
Okay.
Next question.
From Flyboy Pfeiffer.
Hey.
Pfeiffer here from late September. Has the Discord reached 1,000 yet?
No.
No, I think 830.
We're not too far off.
830. I'm just listen. This is the best way that I've been saying it. Y'all need to invite your friends, invite your family, go into your Discord servers, spam invites.
Bring your grandfather.
Go into Xbox Halo Infinite public chat during a match and say
Invite-
JumperScape verbally.
Invite your 4th grade math teacher.
Please approach the nearest person on the sidewalk and ask if they are in the JumperScape Discord. If they are not, please steal their phone and sign them into the JumperScape Discord. Point is, get some people in here because we would love to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. That's our final goal, and we're doing some good stuff to make that happen. But by golly, if you're a listener and you have not joined the Discord yet, you're doing me a disservice, dude.
If we hit 1,000, don't we get put into something on Discord where people?
Yes,
just
we will
see
be on the
us?
discovery page.
Ooh.
Yep. It'll be a huge deal. Huge. Including the fact that once we get to 1,000, I'll need to get 3 more mods. I'll need to expand the team a little bit more. A whole lot will change.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it'll be fun. Next question.
New mods will be fun.
From Dogman51109 again.
Hey, Dogman numbers. What's up?
What are y'all's favorite Forerunner weapon?
The freaking the Halo 4 scatter shot slaps.
Halo 4 incineration cannon.
I'm going to say I actually preferred the Halo 5 scatter shot.
The one that did the scatter. Oh,
I'm gonna go with the
Because
incineration.
I mean Halo 5. Did I say Halo 4?
you did. You said 5. You said
Okay,
5.
yeah. The Halo 5 scatter shot because I loved its variants were cool and I liked that it went into like musket mode when you ADS'd.
Yeah, it's true. I just love that the scatter shot in Halo 4 just straight up looks. It feels like it would eviscerate your target. It did
have a
had
good
that-
sound
It
too.
had that vibe.
I loved the suppressor sound in Halo 4.
The sound design took a massive downgrade.
Dude,
from
Halo 5
4.
suppressor.
It had to heat up.
It was so
warming up. The
sun is warming up. It's the equivalent because it's basically operating off of a power cell made of pure magic, like why?
Warming up. The sun is warming up.
On that note, what's your favorite Forerunner weapon then?
Oh, I already answered.
Oh, right, incineration cannon. Connor, what's your favorite Forerunner
I have to
weapon?
go with the same one.
The same one, incineration
Halo 4
cannon.
incineration cannon.
I anytime I think of the incineration cannon, I think of One Punch Man and Genos.
Halo 5 is also
Incinerate.
Halo 5 is also good, but the fact that in Halo 4 you didn't have to charge it up.
It just was.
Point and delete. Yeah, it just locked and loaded.
Same thing goes for the binary rifle. Just one shot, you're done. It didn't have to hit the beam.
The binary rifle. Oh, I forgot about. Again, it was made more balanced.
Because you could see the beam.
Yes, but Halo 4's was still so much. It was just better.
It was great.
It was better.
Although the blind fire was the thing that sucked. Like
Yeah,
the
that
normal
sucked.
snipers, they could fire straight as an arrow. Forerunners didn't figure that one out though.
Somehow, they learned how to use the Force, but couldn't figure out how to shoot have a gun hit fire straight.
Bro had midichlorians, but couldn't use that for engineering. Anyway, next question. Are we on to the final one?
Oh,
Yes.
Sorry, Connor.
I like these.
What were your guys' favorite shows from Cartoon Network? I.e., regular show, Ben 10,
That's hard.
SWTCW, Generator Rex, etc.
That's not even a hard question for me.
This is a young.
How much do we want to
number.
do? Top 3 or just?
I will throw out my top 3 right here and
I'm gonna
now.
name 5.
We'll do a top 3.
Okay, my immediate top 3 without even having to think about it. It's in this order. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Adventure Time, regular show. Mm-hmm.
All right, Clone Wars, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Such a good show.
Foster's Home.
This is hurting my heart because I
What's-
want
Dexter's Lab. That's Cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Network, right?
that wasn't
Dexter's
Nickelodeon.
Lab.
D in my room.
Foster's Home. I'm just trying. I'm gonna stop there. My brain stopped working. I'm gonna stop there.
James, go ahead.
You left the cat all ruffled. Can you brush your
Mine's
hair back?
almost the same. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Probably that's the thing is I haven't watched it in its entirety. I've only watched it in bits and pieces. Probably regular show. I was more of a Nickelodeon kid.
Watch regular show from start to finish. Oh my god, you will love it.
Ed and Nettie.
Oh, that's a good one.
I cannot stress this enough. This list in my brain changes almost on a daily basis. I'm not kidding. Like I think about this often because I grew up in the golden era of Cartoon Network, and even like when it had its resurgence in the early to mid 2010s, when regular show and Adventure Time like started peaking.
Death began at Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah,
Oh,
what even,
God.
man? What was that?
I remember I watched a bunch of Powerpuff Girls as well.
I did. Yep. There's no shame in that. I
No.
watched that too. There's no
No.
shame in it. My top 3, and again, I cannot stress this enough. The only one that stays consistent every time this list changes, Samurai Jack. Especially season 5, the adults, they literally made it. It had 4 seasons through 2000, like the early, like literally 2000 to 2003. It had 4 seasons. They stopped and made a 5th season on Adult Swim because they knew that demographic grew up. They knew that demographic would want something more mature. So they made a 5th season that was a little bit more real, depressing, dark, blood, swearing, adult humor. Just in the way it ended in the video game they made also added to it. So Samurai Jack is 1.
My last one. Who? Ha.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny
That
Bravo.
checks out.
Whoa, mama.
Oh, man. Okay, so Samurai Jack, Edda and Nettie.
Honk, honk. The clown girl that he tried to woo.
Oh.
Oh my god. Number 3.
It's a good
I'm struggling. I almost want to say Billy and Mandy for number 3.
Oh,
There's
too many.
That's what
Buenos
that is.
dias, Mandy.
I cannot stress it enough. What is so funny? What is so funny? Am I missing something here?
Bro pulled the most niche thing, and it took me a minute to even understand.
I still don't understand. What is that? Do you know, Cheyenne?
She has no idea. She would have no clue.
Should I? I feel like I should know.
Billy. Billy is one of the most dumbest cartoon characters to watch.
No,
this
he
planet.
is. My favorite clip. One of my favorite clips with him. There was an episode where it was like there's like a 2-parter like Wrath of the Spider Queen, right? And he was breaking into the school. He opened a window. And then jumped high enough to still go through the window instead of climbing in.
I think there was a door there too as well.
Yeah, he didn't. He's just so stupid. He's so freaking funny. Oh my god! Can someone please pull up what you guys are laughing about?
I'm pulling it up right now
Okay.
for you.
But yeah, for the sake of time, I'm going to say Samurai Jack, Edna and Nettie, and Billy and Mandy. But I cannot stress it enough. Some days it's Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Some days I'll put in Adventure. Like the fact, like that's just how I feel today. Adventure Time and Regular Show are both top 3 shows of all time for me.
You didn't even have time to read it.
I don't need to read it. I don't need to read
so
it.
good.
I don't need to read it.
You've seen it before, right?
No.
How in the
I've
world have you
never
not seen that?
Of all people, I figured I would.
That comic was going everywhere.
Was that on iFunny?
The best part
That
is just
checks out.
Which, by the way, real quick, Connor, I want to defend you on the Powerpuff Girls
You
thing.
don't have to defend it.
No, listen,
Do
I
you
want
need to grab her?
No, I'm crying from laughing.
But no, I'm being for real. I just need to remind everyone, Powerpuff Girls were actually gangster. They took Mojo Jojo out of prison just to beat his ass again and put him back in one episode.
I went back, like, rewatching some of the episodes. I'm like, he really is not doing anything wrong. The Powerpuff Girls are the bad guys.
They are beating the absolute ever-living hell out of him for no reason sometimes.
And he hates them so much, and he created them.
Bro,
That's the
I would
funniest
hate
part.
them. I would
He
hate
created.
them too.
He
He
created them.
I thought the professor did.
No,
With
Mojo
sugar,
Jojo did.
spice, and everything nice.
He was. The
I'm pretty sure in
professor
the intro
owned
you
him.
can see him.
The professor
Oh.
owned Mojo Jojo at one point, and he was literally crashing on his lab, and he knocked over the chemical X into the formula that he was making, and he created them.
What is up with you and knowing all this random, actual
watch that.
applicable lore?
Memory. My memory is
From the theme
I just
song.
hold on to random information.
I think unless they did an episode on
Shane
I'm
has
just
the
going off
energy of
theme song.
that one video. The guy is just like it's the Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
Yeah, which is the East, bro. I love that video. Gosh, we're gonna get too far. Get on the podcast. Happens on Thursday. We'll see you then.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.